Today is March 28th, 2015. I'm Matt Castle, and this is the Final Family Podcast, or Vodcast, or whatever. I still don't know what it's called. We're talking. Say I have a head, and you have a head, and we talk. We could bobble talking head. No. Okay. So this week we're going to talk about some news again, some nerd news and some TV news, or really not TV news per se, so much as like,
Our thoughts.
Yeah, on all the CW shows that we watch. We're going to talk about Batman Arkham Knight being delayed again, and why that's a good thing. And we're going to talk about some PS4 updates and our very, 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 very small. I think you know what? Screw it. We'll just get the releases for next week out of the way. There is one game. Would you mind reading it from the page for me?
MLB 15, the show.
Which is my preferred, MLB game. Do you know what MLB stands for? Yeah.
I don't know what Major League Baseball?
Good job, all right. If I had a little bell, I'd ding it. Ding. Good job. You won Jeopardy. So, okay. We're going to dive in with both feet just like we did last week. We're going to talk about, state infringing upon LGBT rights because those dirty gays are fucking up our heterosexual marriages. Which may be the dumbest, most sarcastic thing I've ever said to date. And that is saying something. Like, really. So if you were not aware, the governor of, in Indiana, his name is, if you want to write him some hate mail, his name is Governor Mike Pence, signed a law that allows the discrimination of gay and lesbian people in the state. So basically, what it boils down to is if, say, a fast food place that shall not be named but only serves chicken in filet form wanted to discriminate and not serve homosexual couples,
not give the third chicken for the gay wedding.
Yeah, or that. They have the right to turn that down, to turn those folks away from their business, which sounds completely ludicrous to me. I don't know why a company would want to do that. Yeah. There's no such thing as a Christian company because companies don't have souls. Companies don't have souls.
But they're individuals.
We're going to get off onto a wrong track. We're going to get onto a wrong track. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, okay, dear. So, do you have...
Well, my thing... Why are you... Oh, okay. It would have been much easier and less distracting for you to just ask me that.
Well, my mic is... I'm sorry. Jessica is doing a podcast without a microphone in front of her face, so she may or may not have had witty banter with me on this recording.
Yes.
But we're not starting over, because damn it all. You heard some of what she said,
I'm sure.
Even if it wasn't particularly clear.
Yeah, there we go. Well, my thing is... to say that this I have a hard time talking about this in a non-passionate, angry way.
Fuck is your friend. Fuck is your friend. Also, I'd like to add this week's episode brought to you by Original Sin Hard Apple Cider. Tastes so bad but feels so good. Oh yes. Actually, it tastes quite good so far. This is my first one.
Okay.
Because it's been that kind of day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To say that this is a law to protect the rights of Christian people is ludicrous in this country because America does not discriminate against Christians. There is not an institutionalized discrimination thing.
Sorry, there's not. There may be a war on Christianity, but you know what? It's in China. It's not here.
Yeah.
It's not here at all.
You are not going to lose your job for being a Christian.
Nope.
You're not going to have to hide the fact that you're a Christian from your friends and family. It's not a question of personal safety. It's not a question of employability. It's not, there is no systematic discrimination against Christians in this country. You might get made fun of.
Yes.
You might get some jokes pulled at you.
Let's be real. Atheist, a lot of times,
they're just as
atheist,
annoying.
it just translates to asshole. I mean, let's be real. A lot of times, that's just kind of how it is. I'm saying that every atheist is very, throw it in someone's face. Jessica and I both claim Christianity as a faith. However, I mean, and atheists are entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
I think their approach is kind of shitty. I think the Christian approach tends to be kind of shitty.
Yeah. And that's because people, just in general,
are shitty.
Shitty
people.
Yeah.
All over the place. It's not good.
So there's not, anytime, every philosophical,
Do you know who wasn't a shitty person, though? Jesus.
There you go. Okay.
I was just trying to make it uncomfortable for me.
There's no systematic, there's nothing there. There's no reason for this law to exist because there is no no discrimination.
Right.
I would say
I would say that this is going to bring discrimination.
Oh,
I mean,
it absolutely is.
Atheist and or Muslim business owners would be. I would say they would be foolish not to, kind of turn the tables on the intended use of this particular law, right? Question your customers. If they're Christians, then kick them the fuck out. It's a shitty thing to do to the individual, but at the same time, sometimes things need to be said, and this is one of those times.
But that's more likely to close down their small business than it is to make.
That's true.
It is to make, and Fox News is going to send a van down there.
Well, Fox News probably already has a van down there.
And it's proof that there is discrimination against.
That's right.
So it's not. That kind of stand really isn't.
The one instance would prove.
Yeah.
I need another drink.
So, it's just fear mongering, and it's othering. We have to fear those people because they're not like us. And the thing is, I really want to believe that this is the death rattle of this particular way of thinking. We've seen this spread with such vehemence and wildfire that I want to say that this is the death rattle of this way of thinking. Because, I mean, regardless of how an individual feels about homosexuality, and because there are lots of different denominations of Christianity, so you can't say there's a universal view. That's starting to also swing.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
there's not a universal view. You can't say that with a group as big as Christianity.
Much like marijuana, homosexuality is becoming a much more mainstream, agreeable thing that people just don't see the point in fighting over. Yeah. Right. Because there is no point. There's no damn point in fighting over this shit. Other people being married does not affect your marriage.
But I can't see how anyone would claim Christianity and claim to be a follower of Christ and say, well, I don't want to serve those people.
Just makes the rest of us look bad.
It does. It makes the rest of us look bad. But that's so against... that's so against every, every aspect of Jesus's character and the way he interacted with people.
That's right. I mean, it's one of the
he
things.
Never, he did not hang out with the good Jews. He didn't.
And he also, like, if you read the scriptures, he largely talks about do these things, not don't do these things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
when
largely as a thing, right? Like, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's a much more positive. He has a much more positive approach than a lot of evangelism that happens right now, unfortunately.
When he starts talking about don't do these things and don't do these things, the majority of those times are to the believers, the people who already follow him. Because, I mean, and this may sound, pop psychology, I don't know. But, like, I mean, if all you're talking about is the negatives and you're a sinner and you're going to hell and this, that, and the other, no one is going to want to follow
around you. Nobody wants to be around you.
You have to be born into that kind of, and raised in it, and, brainwashed from an early age. Look at, oh gosh, I've blocked his name.
Hi, Pops. Just, if you're watching, hi.
No,
just
the people that pick at funerals.
Oh, Westboro.
Yeah. No one.
Oh my God.
No one is going to be like, "Hey, I want to belong to that church." You have to be born and brainwashed.
There is a special ring of hell for those people.
Yeah. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
It's just below Jerry Falwell's ring in hell. Yeah.
So because of this law, we've really gone on a tangent here. Because of this law, Indiana is facing some really
the heavy repercussions.
Big repercussions.
And let's talk about the most important one first, right?
Yeah.
The first one I heard about was Gen Con.
I think they were the first. That's at least the first.
They sent an open letter to the not open. I don't know. They sent a thing to the dude. They were like, "This is fucked up. Don't do it. It's not good." Basically they asked you to the quote is, "We ask that you please reconsider your support of state bill, I assume, SB 101." Because they feel like it's going to affect their business, right? Yeah. It's a nerd con. It's a gaming convention. Yeah. Frankly, nerds come in all flavors, and thank God, right? Yeah. I would like to believe that nerddom is one of the safer zones for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. As a community, I feel as though we may be more open-minded in general. I don't know if that's true.
Individuals?
I suppose, mob mentality.
But anytime you get... because, to go back again, people are shitty. Mob mentality, But I mean, most,
But like the CEO of Gen Con said, they brought in 56,000 attendees from over 40 different countries and all 50 states to the Indiana Convention Center last year. And a law like this could impede their ability to actually serve, and because a large part of a convention is how well the city serves the attendees too. Oh, right. Yeah. Like, you need to have a good restaurants and hotels and are all very friendly and open and welcoming, because the city is on just as much as the con itself, right?
Oh yeah.
So.
And it's spreading out. Charles Barkley has said, that the Final Four should be moved out. And, I mean, I know he's just a sportscaster now, and, he doesn't necessarily have...
He's Charles Barkley. Like, he's a big deal, dude.
He's not, like, a higher up in the NCAA.
Well, I mean, he's high up in the minds of the NBA. Yeah. He really is, I think, maybe, because I don't know anything about sports ball. What? He's Charles Barkley.
Go sports
ball. I don't know anything about sports, but even I remember Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Angie's List. This one I feel is big and bad. They were planning on doing a large expansion. I think they were even $40 million.
Weren't they even founded in there? I can't remember.
No,
I saw an article.
That was something else.
Anyway,
but they've put it on hold. They haven't canceled it. They're like giving them a way out, but they've put it on hold. And that kind of thing, that's, you have to think about
Oh.
Those are long-term jobs that are not going to go there if they don't revoke this law.
I didn't even know. Okay. So I just had a revelation. I didn't know Tim Cook was gay. He's the CEO of Apple. If you weren't aware, he's the CEO of Apple now.
Yeah.
With Bill
I think
not
I knew
Bill
that.
Gates. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple,
Yeah.
tweeted out on Friday about his, deep disappointment in the Indiana law. And apparently there's a similar law that is coming up for a vote in Arkansas, which does not surprise me whatsoever. Because Arkansas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm stereotyping Arkansas, but that's because I live in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to hate Arkansas. It's my understanding that is a thing.
Kind of is.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know
you hate us.
There's lots of other companies out there too.
Yeah.
The NCAA is talking about canceling things in the state. Salesforce, which is a huge thing in business enterprise systems, which I know about because I am in business enterprise systems. Yelp, the city of San Francisco, has actually put a moratorium on traveling to the state for any city business, for any work-related business. Apparently, the disciples of Christ think this is shitty. Just saying.
I don't know who those
I don't know
are.
who the disciples of Christ are.
We don't know if we want to support their.
I don't know if I support their stance and anything, but they sound like they might be a Christian group, and the entire Christian denomination. So apparently, that is a Christian denomination. It sent a letter, and the reason, we think this is stupid. Oh, wait, no. It's causing us to reconsider our decision to hold our 2017 gathering in Indianapolis. So they're even going to back out because of this.
Yeah.
But
basically,
everybody is like, holy shit, this is super bad. What's wrong with you people in Indiana?
And the thing is, I've heard some grumblings about, companies, blackmailing and, holding things hostage with their money. And I kind of laugh because that's kind of, the same people that are like, yay, free market.
That's right. This is the free market, dude.
Are the same people that are like, this is blackmail.
It's not blackmail. This is the free market. This is how this works. You do something somebody doesn't like, and they take their business elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I would encourage anybody to do in any situation. Yeah. You don't think Chick-fil-A is very nice with their weird stuff? Then don't go to Chick-fil-A. Although their chicken is delicious.
Yeah.
And tasty.
The secret ingredient is pickle juice.
Really?
Really.
We need to try that.
We have.
We did?
We did.
I don't remember. Anyway. Of course, celebrities are speaking out too. Hillary Clinton, obviously. But folks like Ashton Kutcher and Audrey McDonald, who I don't know, but is depicted with a picture of Snuffleupagus, so I assume she's on Sesame Street. And, of course, George Takei, because he is the gay leader of internet.
Are you saying Audra McDonald?
Audra? Yes, Audra. I'm sorry.
Audra?
I apologize, Audra.
Yes, especially since she's...
Do I know her? Do I know?
Yes,
Son of a bitch, I do know her. Okay. I'm sorry.
She's an actress.
I just didn't kick on
an amazing singer.
I didn't.
Snuffleupagus? What are you looking at?
Her Twitter account.
Oh, okay.
Her Twitter avatar is her with, and is she? Okay, I don't know who she is. Obviously.
Yes, you do, because you watched a little bit of The Sound of Music with me. She was the Mother Superior. What? In the live action.
Oh, okay. I'm like, she's a young black woman. There's no way in hell.
Not the live action.
It was live action.
It was live
action. Gritty, reality-based Sound of Music where the Nazis win.
Just saying, if Audrey McDonald was the Mother Superior, I'm pretty sure the Nazis probably would have.
The Nazis would have just backed off. They would have been like,
no, they would have burned it to the ground. They would have been like, yeah.
I don't know. Well, okay, yeah, but
that's kind of.
They'd have done it from a distance because they're afraid of women, especially African American women. I don't know. I'm doing terrible stereotypes again. Yeah. It's not okay. Damn dirty Nazis. I don't know. Anyway.
You can just end every conversation with damn dirty Nazis.
Damn dirty Nazis.
And feel justified.
That's how we'll end the rest of the podcast today, if you can help me remember to do that.
Okay.
God damn you, dirty
All right.
Nazis.
So after that bizarre rant,
Now for something completely different.
Completely different.
It was a good transition because this is something this character would say. Okay, and
damn dirty Nazis.
that too, but I
Okay.
think he would say something weirdly uncomfortable about African American women too, because he's Deadpool.
And chalupas.
Chalupas. Is it? No, it's chimichangas.
Chimichangas. Yeah.
Bad reader. Bad reader.
I knew it was a CH.
It's Mexican
Anyway.
food. It's got to be something.
Yeah.
Chimmy something. Honestly, I'll be completely honest. I only know what Deadpool is about, in a very general sense. I know he's like the snarky, horrible, extremely lewd version of like.
And he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
a
he
lot.
does. He does the fourth wall break thing, which I can appreciate. I enjoy that
Yeah.
very much. Here we go. I'll just go ahead and switch out. See our lovely new layout. It's beautiful. I added it so we can actually see Deadpool in all his glory. Ryan Reynolds actually tweeted out the first picture of the Deadpool costume. Not gonna lie, it looks a little CGI, but not at the same time. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't.
It's
If they probably touched it a bunch. It's a real suit, and they touched him a bunch.
Photoshop.
But like
tweaking.
it's, I don't know. I think it's the face, kind of like the general eye region that looks not
Well, they're gonna.
real.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to tweak that because if it was really like that, he wouldn't be able to see or breathe, and he'd die.
Whatever.
And it would be.
I'm sure he
sad.
can breathe. Spandex is breathable. That's
He
the whole
wouldn't be
point.
able to breathe well.
He doesn't need to breathe well. He's Deadpool. So
Anyway,
after last year, we had the little pre-roll leak. We'll call it leak
leaked.
because it was a leak. Tester. That's what it really was. Come out, and it was amazing. Absolutely
Yes.
amazing. Probably one of the best things I've ever seen on the internet.
It was awesome.
Thank you, God, for Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
being allowed to play this particular role correctly this
Yes.
time. Not with a fucking horrible X-Men, fuck you, horrible, terrible, all you X-Men movie pieces of shit up to that point. What? All the X-Men movies were pieces of shit up to then.
I am still just every now and then
It was
caught
a
off
disclaimer.
guard
It was a disclaimer.
by your
We had a
intensity. By your
disclaimer.
intensity.
It's not intensity.
Are we going to wind up talking about these crappy movies every podcast? Because this is
don't-
the second podcast, second time it's come up.
Well, I can't remember what triggered the first
Me neither.
path.
Anyway,
But at least this is a much more
Yeah.
direct link.
Yeah.
This is a much more direct link.
that's true.
And they've been warned. They have been warned.
They have been warned. But I have to say, I love the picture.
I love it. It's
I love the
staged really
suit.
well. He's got. You
Yeah.
can kind of feel like the attitude as he's laying there.
Like someone coming
It's
in,
good.
someone coming in knowing nothing about Deadpool is still, I think,
It's gonna get a vibe. You're gonna get a vibe off this.
They're
That
gonna
it's
get a good idea. This is not going to be a grim dark movie.
This is not
you
family
know.
friendly. This is
Yeah.
not grim dark. This is not DC.
Yeah.
This is not probably more traditional Marvel.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like. I will be surprised if it's not rated R. Like there have been
I'd
inklings
be
that there's
very surprised.
like there apparently have been inklings that it's
Yeah.
gonna be PG-13 because they're like
it's
doing.
gonna be. I think if they do PG-13, it's gonna be like PG-13.
It's gonna be
plus.
but it's gonna. I don't know. I think if they did PG-13, it would go really badly for them actually because he's not a PG-13 character.
No,
he's just
he's
not. Like he, as foul-mouthed as I am,
Yeah.
like. He says some horrible shit in the comic books, like just horrible things, like very not good things, and he's super abrasive, like,
But see, but the
loud and crazy
leaked trailer, teaser, whatever you want to call it.
Right, no,
that
it had a
was
good
very
vibe.
R.
Yeah.
That was very. I mean, he takes the head and
but,
makes
like,
a puppet. You know,
but like
that's
that was not a legitimate thing, and you can do whatever the hell you want in it.
But I feel
Non-legitimate. I understand, but it's a it was
Yeah.
in theory that was a closed door tester,
Yeah.
right? For like shopping it to studios, which you can do whatever the hell you want there, and
But I
it's
feel
one of those
like
things.
they're not gonna change. You know, like especially if that's to shop it around.
Well, the thing
they
is
wouldn't
that
want to make it.
PG-13
Yeah.
will get more viewers because more people are then
more
allowed
money.
to see it.
Yeah.
And so more money. And, you know, the one thing we all know about Hollywood is that they want lots of money, which is why there were 3 Hobbit movies.
So is this going to be a Marvel production? Like, this isn't a spin-off?
I honestly don't know who's putting out the movie because I'm a bad researcher.
Yeah, Marvel.
Okay, there you go.
I feel like Marvel knows that they don't have to worry about getting viewers anymore. They can make Guardians of the Galaxy the hit that they made it.
I feel like this might be
Talking Tree Raccoon.
I'm just saying. I hope this is the stance they take, is that they make enough money on their mainstream comic book movies,
that they
like
can
the
keep
Avengers, that they can keep this the way it should be.
Yeah.
And just roll with it, right? Yeah. And not bank on the money from this. Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously no company is going to invest in something that's not going to make money. Yeah. But at the same time, if you're not like, don't fuck with it. Just don't mess with it so you can make even more.
And
right?
my understanding, because once I'm not really in depth on Deadpool either, but his power base, whatever you want to call it, because I'm not sure if is he like a super soldier? I don't even know about that. Honestly, but like his
I
power
know he can't
base.
Die.
Yeah, but his power base is not, he's not shooting lasers out of his eyes. He's not doing CGI heavy stuff. Yeah. So it's more along the line. My understanding, like I said, I haven't read much Deadpool, but
he's like a brawler.
This is likely to get me to read some of his stuff.
Yeah,
if it's good.
I really want to play the game. Actually, it was supposed to be pretty good, and I hadn't had the chance to play it at all.
But it looks like it's not going to be as effects intensive as so it might just be a cheaper movie to make.
Well, I remember when they first got greenlit for it that I remember Ryan Reynolds tweeting something about it being relatively low budget. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully it's good. I'm very very hopeful for this movie as being something very like, I mean, if not good, then being extremely entertaining. Yeah.
And I really
like in the same vein as like a John Wick or a Pacific Rim, right? Yeah. Like just a good fun movie to watch as opposed to what's wrong, Frankie? Sorry, my dog made a weird noise. He was he's looking all wounded down there. I'm gonna give him pets.
And I think this is one case where I'm not sure. I can't think of anyone else that's acting right now that could be a better Deadpool than Ryan Reynolds. No. I mean, it's just
he's
kind
perfect,
of dream,
dude.
Yeah, dream casting.
Like they cast him so well. Everyone was so hopeful for it in that first Wolverine movie.
Yeah, and then
it was so bad. It was so bad. But yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to let Jessica go on to the next one because I've never been a particular fan of this TV show, which may lose us viewers, but I don't know. I had a bad experience. Now ask me what happened.
What happened?
I had a bad experience with this show, or around the show, vaguely surrounding this show.
Okay,
I don't know.
Enough. All right. I was trying to come up with a witty segue and nothing.
No. Well, it's on a screen.
It's on a screen.
On other screens.
On other screens. Hey, didn't Fox make the crappy X-Men movies?
I don't know. Probably.
Let's hope they don't screw this up.
Wait. Sony. No. Fox does own the X-Men franchise.
Let's
Sony owns Spider-Man.
And there's an X involved.
There's X's everywhere. No.
Based apparently because people wanted it and a hashtag started.
It was an interview, a brief interview with
Gillian Anderson.
Yes, thank you. Well, I always want to call her Julianne Moore, and I know she's not Julianne Moore. They were prominent redheads in Hollywood at the same time, and they have J's in their names. G's?
They're both. Well,
no.
Gillian Anderson is G.
Whatever. Anyway.
Or Gillian. No, it's Gillian. Yeah. Anyway. So there was, she did a bit on the Nerdist podcast. A hashtag got started, and X-Files is back. It's coming back. for just 6 episodes, I'll be honest, I am more afraid than I am excited at this point.
I don't know. Apparently, they got a lot of the original writing staff to come back as well. So,
and that's what gives me hope. But the last movie was kind of terrible.
I don't think I ever saw it.
I'll be honest, I remember nothing about the movie other than it was bad.
I don't know if I ever saw it.
Which is not a good thing for me.
Yeah.
If a movie is just meh, I just don't remember it. But if I remember that it was bad, that's not a good sign.
I think my big thing about X-Files that I never really liked is really David Duchovny's character. Because I don't remember if he's Mulder or Scully, honestly. Mulder, I think. I don't know, he's just kind of a dick to Scully. He's just you don't believe enough all the time. He's just
you didn't get far enough into the show.
I know they become deep friends. Don't they actually become a couple at some point or other?
It's kind of hinted.
But he's very I don't know. Like an evangelical Christian at your door, but with fucking aliens instead.
You didn't get far enough.
I know, I didn't get, but I think that's the thing that put me off about his character, and then obviously the show, because that's the way that every episode starts with him being like, "Look at this thing that is weird and happening, even though you don't believe me, and it seems totally improbable."
Improbable?
Plausible. Yes, that's somewhere between improbable and implausible.
The reason I'm afraid is because I loved this show. Watched it every week. Some of the only TV that made me audibly scream, the roach episode. X-Files fans, when that roach crawled across the screen, I did scream. Part of that's because I have a fear of roaches.
It's a deep, dark fear of roaches. It's terrible.
Fear. It is really intense.
Crap.
And I just have such nostalgic love of this show. I have not gone back to rewatch it, so I'm not sure how it's aged.
Maybe I'll give it a chance.
Yeah. But I have such, nostalgic, this was a show of, my teen years and that kind of thing.
I'm honestly surprised your parents let you watch it.
They were into it.
I'm sure your father was into it. I don't know about your mother, man.
No, Mom liked it too. But I'm more nervous, I'm worried about how they're gonna, address the time frame. Are they gonna just kind of try and pick it up where it left off?
From some of the stuff I heard on
right now, it is all complete conjecture. Nothing.
Some of the conjecture I've heard that some of the stuff that they're hearing out of the filming, they being nervous.
No, it hasn't started filming yet.
I understand.
It hasn't been written yet.
From I know, but they're in the process of writing, and the people that they're signing on to write, it sounds like it's going to be kind of Monster of the Week, which I think a lot of people are actually looking forward to, as opposed to trying to have some kind of crazy ass overarching thing for just 6 episodes, right? And let's be real, 6 episodes can turn into a new series for these people, in no time if it does well.
But it's just.
I mean, look at Sleepy Hollow. That's kind of. I feel like that's what Sleepy Hollow was like. We're just gonna throw this at the wall and see what happens, and then it was awesome. And
the second season,
took off.
Not so much.
It was good. It was good enough. It wasn't first season good, but it was good. I mean, it started going American Horror Story a little bit. Except they didn't have zombie Nazi aliens.
Yeah.
Close.
But yeah, I am kind of hesitant, and I know a lot of it is because of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But as more comes out, we'll
we'll see. I might try and do a catch up before then.
The actors are good, the writers are good.
They're talking about writing and filming and hitting screens as early as late this year.
Yeah.
So which I think sounds nuts.
I'm not sure I believe them. I'm not sure I believe them.
That seems like a really crazy timeline.
Yeah. But who knows? We'll see.
I think this is the point in which I sneezed last week too.
I think so.
So another TV things.
TV things.
Right.
Like Sleepy Hollow, starting to fall flat.
Whatever. I like Sleepy Hollow.
We both felt that Flash this week was kind of a letdown after all of the excitement from last week.
I think it was one of those contextual things, right? Like it was such a good episode last week.
Yeah.
And then this week felt super fillery, right? Like they didn't really deal with the time travel at all.
Yeah.
There was not why was there not 2 Barrys? There should have been 2 Barrys by all rights, right? Like
I feel the problem with time travel is, and ask any fan of Doctor Who.
I mean, I guess that branches off and he makes a new universe effectively.
Well, the problem with time travel is you have to keep it mysterious enough that it is not the solution to every problem.
Yeah.
But you have to explain it enough that the audience isn't saying, well, why don't they just go back in time? And I feel like this episode was not, they were more just hand-wavy. They were they just didn't do anything with it. Like, they were just like, you probably shouldn't do bad things. You shouldn't change things. Yeah, and I feel...
we're not going to... There is seemingly going to be zero effect if you do.
And I feel like Barry is the type of character who would be like, no, we need to run tests, we need to do this, we need to do this. So
I feel like Dr. Wells would do that, especially since, he's a reverse Flash, and he killed Cisco.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know he did that, though.
Yeah.
Everybody went back in time.
I was like, is he going to take him down there? Like, is he going to take them down there and just kill him offhand?
Just because?
Like, what's going to happen?
I felt pretty sure that Cisco was safe. I really did feel that Cisco was safe.
Like, I feel like Cisco's going to be safe overall, because he is the comic relief of the show. Like, Barry's light, but he's not Cisco light.
But I felt...
Like,
I
feel like they're trying to overuse Captain Cold, like, already. Like...
I think they're going to back off of him. I think
I hope they do. I would have liked to have seen a bit more. I would have liked them to do I hope they do one more episode with them. And like Trickster, I think, is supposed to be next week. And so what I'm really hoping to see before the end of the season is like the Rogues, right? Like
we got the nod of that.
Yeah.
Rogues,
he likes that. Rogues. That was the better.
That
was the best part of the episode to me. Was that he was like, that's a good name, and he's right. That is a good name. It's a damn good name. Captain Cold and Heatwave and Golden Glider and Trickster and who else? Who else do we have? Weather Wizard. Weather Wizard is not dead. He's apprehended, and that's fine. And then the only person I think they're missing that I can think of, and he hasn't been in the show yet, is Mirror Master, which will be a really cool episode if they ever decide to do him.
Yeah. I haven't heard any rumors about it.
I haven't, like, he's not been in any of the previews or anything like that.
For me, personally, the main reason that this episode fell flat was it focused on Barry and Iris. And I just hate...
a bunch of teen angsty bullshit.
I don't feel like these actors have chemistry. Like, the worst episode for the Barry Iris storyline was when Felicity came to town for one episode, because she had more chemistry with Barry packed into that one episode than Barry and Iris have had the entire season combined.
And it's nothing they're doing wrong per se. Well, I feel like what's his face, like he Caitlin, is that her name? Shoot. The other side, is it Caitlin?
Yeah.
I can't. Her name is Caitlin Snow. Okay. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
but you said
I think
he.
He and Barry.
She and Barry.
He, Barry, and she, Caitlin, have better chemistry overall.
Than Iris.
I don't know. I feel like they have friend chemistry, though. I don't get that relationship vibe. There is, yeah.
And there's like Barry and Iris. We're supposed to have a lifetime's worth of emotions and memories and feelings, but like these two should set the screen on fire when we see them. I feel like there's nothing.
I feel like in a couple episodes they did, like in last week's episode, wasn't it last week's episode when they went bowling?
But
and
that was
I mean,
cutesy.
but that's the kind of characters they are.
But
like,
that's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's been it. That's been.
I agree. Yeah, that's totally been it. So I mean, what I'm saying is they can have good chemistry.
Yeah.
They just haven't been written that way yet, really.
But I mean,
I don't know. I thought the ending of the previous episode was pretty good with that too. Actually,
with the kiss.
Yeah. And I felt like that was good, and like she finally comes clean, and so does he, and then time travel. Like I felt that made the time travel thing a little more poignant, and I enjoyed that scene, the kissy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're still looking at Deadpool just because he's awesome.
I feel more chemistry from that Deadpool picture than I do Barry and Iris. There you go. There's the reason.
Ryan Reynolds is hot. I'm pretty sure I'd sleep with him. I'm just putting it out there. Ryan Reynolds shows up and he's like, dude, I need this to happen. I'm like, okay. So you're aware.
Free pass.
Free pass.
Free pass. But, like, the writing before they both just come off as idiots when it comes to this relationship.
Well, I mean, I think that's the point, though. They are.
For the majority of the season, Iris has just come off looking like a moron because she didn't realize Barry was in love with her.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
And she just turns out looking almost like mean or oblivious.
I feel like whoever wrote Lana in Smallville is writing Iris right now. Like, please stop. Please stop, person.
And then, like, when Barry comes back and he's like, well, you know, I've been thinking about you for a while.
Yeah, it was super creepy.
It was
super creepy.
It was creepy.
Ultra creepy vibe.
And
this is not the way you approach things, Barry.
It's just not. Like,
I know you've been thinking about me. Yeah, it's not, no.
Even, I feel like Barry is smart enough to know that she said that because she thought she was going to die. And, you know, I feel like he would know.
I don't know.
I feel like he would know that you can't just sit down for coffee and expect her to confess her love. That whole scene
I feel like blind hope.
Ridiculous.
I feel like blind hope is a thing. Like you want something so bad you can't see reality for it.
But I feel like he would at least do a big romantic gesture.
That's how I felt about you.
Whatever. I feel like he would at least do a big romantic gesture or something, you know, not just like, let's sit down for coffee and you confess your love for me. Just the entire scene felt off, felt weird.
Well,
and the Barry Iris stuff is absolutely why the episode fell flat for me. Yeah. And the golden gun, I felt like that was really silly.
Like, what the hell? Well, okay. Why rob anything if you can shoot gold? You can turn things into gold, even if you're just gold plating it.
And I was
you're making gold, you're shooting gold, like.
And I was reading, Tom and Lorenzo, great bloggers, fashion mostly, but they do nerdy stuff too, like they do flash recaps, and they pointed out, they were like, well, one, the gun either has to have a constant supply of gold, which is ridiculous, or two, Cisco has figured out how to transmute metals, which means
he's an alchemist.
Why have you been sitting on this technology for this long?
He's Full Metal Alchemist.
You know, he was able to figure it out in one afternoon.
Next season, Cisco's brother's going to show back up, and he's going to be a disembodied suit of armor.
Here you go.
And they're going to call him Steel Man instead of Iron Man. I don't know if there is. Is there like a DC equivalent to Iron Man? Probably not really.
Speaking of DC equivalents to Iron Man, in the other CW show, are we done talking about The Flash?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, there you go. So Arrow, Adam just kind of looks like the Iron Patriot, isn't that what it was called?
Yeah,
Iron Patriot in Iron Man 2.
Yeah,
with an A for America.
Yeah. So Arrow this week, the big news is that Arrow, the Arrow and the Atom
are facing off for 37 seconds.
Yeah, that was kind of like every preview was about it. You know, everything. I felt like it was going to be like this big kind of epic thing.
At least a 5-minute battle, right?
And
it was like 3 minutes. the CGI in the fast moving sequences were pretty bad.
The suit
and Ollie
itself,
Ollie knocked him out with like a rock. Like he could have threw him a damn rock.
Something.
I don't even think it was that. I think he just knocked his hip battery off or something.
Okay.
It was like, what redundancy, man. Redundancy. Like, what is wrong with you?
I do have to say, favorite moment, hands down, without question, of the episode was the Superman nod that they gave.
Yeah.
When someone, was like, oh, well, your superpower is X-ray vision. Perfect.
Yep.
Loved the moment.
He just kind of smiled a little bit, and he was like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Favorite moment. I'll be honest, when we sat down to kind of write our talking points, we were both kind of like, what
the hell happened? Oh yeah,
which is not a great.
It was like
sign
it was just, but
me.
it was fun. It was a fun to watch episode.
It was a fun watch episode.
Like when they weren't just doing love triangle-y shit.
Yeah,
and
I
don't know. I feel like okay. Also, the Suicide Squad was a really good part of that episode too.
Oh, I forgot about the Suicide Squad
and what's his face? Floyd, Deadshot.
Totally not dead. Totally not
dead. There's no way.
Don't even believe that for a millisecond.
No. So he's gonna be like deep into now he's like Suicide Squad covert or some shit.
Yeah.
Because he's Deadshot. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
The Harley Quinn.
The Harley Quinn.
The Harley knockoff. Cupid.
I'm okay with that.
I was okay with that.
She does the infatuation thing. I think the actress does a pretty good job actually.
And I'll be honest, part of me will never forgive what they did to the Huntress. So I really am okay with them kind of doing B-string and making, because really, in all honesty, Arrow is a show. Oliver Queen is a stand-in for Bruce Wayne. It's the Batman show that we're never going to be able to see, that we're never going to get. Because they will not,
Yeah, they won't come off the rights. You can't have Batman in a suit. That's literally a thing.
Yeah.
That's why Gotham exists as it does, because you can't have Batman in the suit.
Yeah. So I don't, I'm not upset about, this is obviously a Harley stand-in. Yeah. I'm cool with that. I don't mind that at all one bit. I would rather them do that.
I feel like I'd be a little more offended if there was a Joker stand-in.
Yeah.
Because it's the Joker.
Yeah.
You can't really
you can't really do a stand-in for that.
Nobody's quite that crazy.
Yeah.
And it would be a little bit too, for it to be noticeable, it would have to be so on the nose that it would be just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the love triangle stuff on, I know they have to include it because it's the CW.
Okay, it's the CW. Their primary demographic is half our age and without my genitalia.
I know. But I feel like the writers don't really know how to handle this stuff, because the love triangle stuff made me...
Well, they don't, because they've been writing for the CW.
It made me feel righteously indignant for Felicity on both sides. I was like, Ollie, you're a douchebag. Other guy, you're a douchebag too. What's his name? Can't remember.
Palmer?
The Atom.
Ray Palmer, dear. Superman. Not Superman. We can refer to him as not Superman.
There you go.
I'm just going to put it out there. He was a good Superman. It was the script that did him in.
Yes.
At the time, he looked disturbingly like Christopher Reeves. He was perfect. And he's not a bad actor.
No, he's good.
Because I really liked him he was in Chuck for a good long time. I liked him in Chuck. I think it was Chuck, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I stopped watching it.
He comes in a later season and is
I had stopped watching it
another dude or whatever.
But it just, I don't know. It just made me angry on both sides. Oliver he may have these emotions, but he has no right to pour them out on Felicity. He was the one that said, I can never be in this relationship. He does not have the right to get pissy with Felicity over her relationship stuff.
I don't know. I feel like wait, no. I agree. He doesn't have the right, but at least in I think it was the very first encounter when she does confront him about it, I don't feel like he was that pissy. I mean, he was clearly taken aback a bit,
broody,
and he was broody, but he wasn't like.
I guess that's true.
Super abrasive, and like I felt like he didn't need to be called out on anything he did.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do anything that damn bad, right? Like, so I mean, that's kind of where I was on it.
But the relationship stuff is.
The relationship stuff is the weak point of Arrow. It probably always will be. They've got the whole love triangle thing.
Yeah.
Like what they really need to do is just like, you know, have Ollie throw his hands up with Felicity and just be done with it and move the fuck on and move on to Laurel, for God's sakes. Like at this point, we need something to be interesting about her. Like there isn't anything interesting about her except for that she's training with Nyssa, and that's
which
it.
Which we haven't seen yet.
Which we haven't even seen. We've seen like you're looking fit, and like it was like a one-liner in the episode.
What
that was
happened
it.
to your wrist?
Yeah.
So, luckily, the third show that we want to talk about this week didn't have any relationship drama.
No, it didn't.
It did have some relationship drama, but in the second episode, it felt more earned and realistic than these other shows.
And it also felt more explainable dramatically because of the context of the show.
So we're talking about iZombie, which we're only 2 episodes in, but I'm really enjoying it.
I really enjoyed the second episode just as much as I did the first episode. I feel like with the addition of Blaine, the guy who played Adam in Heroes,
and Dr. Whale in Once Upon a Time,
and adding him, Dr. Who?
Whale.
Who the hell is that?
He's the doctor. There's only one doctor in town, and it's him.
Okay. But, like, where does he translate in Once Upon a Time? Like, I'm confused.
He's, Prince Charming in a coma. His doctor.
Yes, I remember. But everybody has an alternate person that they are.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, okay, so it's one of those things I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fine, whatever. I didn't even know he had a name. I just thought he was, like, nameless doctor.
It's second season stuff.
Dun, dun, dun. That's right, I'm watching Once Upon a Time, like, 5 seasons late. Yeah. I'm not enjoying it that much. Enough to keep watching it. That's it.
But yes, we got the addition of Blaine, the dude that turned.
He's clearly lying about remembering.
Yeah, he did it. He's definitely keeping some things secret.
Like,
I
feel like he's going to be the thing that is the overarching story, at least for this season. You know,
I think so.
Him building up some kind of crazy ass zombie drug kingpin thing.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like it was a very smart decision of them to introduce that this early on, because the show
really good casting for it too. Yeah. He plays really smooth, and he does. And he's a good liar.
He's very charming. You know, he's a very charming, kind of charismatic. You could see people falling in line with him and believing him. But the format of the show is very much going to wind up being Monster of the Week, and so I feel like it was a good idea for them to introduce this kind of larger story arc.
Plus, at least when he's interacting with, I can't remember her name, the main character.
Yeah,
he is comic relief.
Yeah.
Because he's a funny actor too.
Yeah, he is. He does have a good sense of humor or sense of comedic timing, and I feel like it's good that it's also branching out that there are other zombies or will soon be other zombies.
There's at least 3 now.
Yeah,
that we know of. So that's
good. They mentioned survivors of the boat wreck this episode, so I'm sure that those will probably get pulled in, and I have to believe that there's going to be at least one more zombie, something.
Maybe another good zombie, who knows.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the episode. It was nice to see the nurse from Scrubs.
Oh yeah, what's her face?
I can't remember. It's always good to see.
She's awesome.
To see character actors that you enjoy.
I love her. Of course, she was the murderer. I knew she was a murderer as soon as I saw her. I was like, she killed Turk.
Yep.
She killed Turk.
And I found I do find it kind of telling that the relationship stuff that we had in this episode was so much stronger in the second episode than in Flash or Arrow. It felt more, there was more chemistry.
So basically the episode is that she eats the brain of an artist because he gets stabbed in the eyeball. And so she is very taken and overly emotional, and so overly emotional, but
painting and listening
she starts
to
painting
jazz
and listening to jazz, and and then starts having feelings that she can't feel like she can contain for her fiance, right? So she always has these
who she's broken up with him for his own protection,
right? And so she's always had these feelings. But now she's gotten to the point because of the brains that she's having trouble containing it, and she needs to output it. And she does something very uncomfortable at the end of the episode with him, and he kind of throws her out, which I would say probably rightfully so is not super fair.
No, it's not.
At all. And so I need to turn off the sleep on our monitors or something when we're doing this.
But yeah, in 2 episodes, people that we've seen for 20 minutes,
right?
But it's a testament to good writing and good chemistry between actors that it felt.
I think her and the Doctor have really good chemistry. They're definitely a good pair.
Yeah, and I would say
I'm not even. Not even. Yeah,
pairing,
they're really good pairing. On the screen, they're fun to watch together and are entertaining.
But so far the cop stuff, crime dramas are never going to be my top pick for
that's
genre.
just it, right? It feels more like a crime parody almost. Yeah, like a crime drama parody, which I'm down with.
Yeah.
It's not taking itself seriously.
The first episode, I was a little worried that this was going to be CSI Zombies.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's
I think I might,
out of it.
if it can keep up the overall extra feel of fun and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then I think we'll be okay, even if it does end up Monster of the Week, and doesn't have this overarching storyline, then I think we'll still be all right with having it.
Yeah, right? I think so too. And talking about expectations and looking forward, and to what's ahead.
Yeah.
Some big game news came out
this week. So let's see, what were we talking about first? Batman Arkham Knight is going to be. We're going to switch back here to Deadpool, but I'm going to pull up some Batman footage. The latest gameplay footage of Batman Arkham Knight came out earlier this week, along with the announcement that the game will be delayed again to June 23rd. And while I'm not overly fond of waiting till June for what will most assuredly be at least a really good game, because frankly all of the Batman games, even Origins, wasn't that bad. All of these games are so fun. And the Batmobile, holy shit. I mean, okay, Jessica can't see the screen right now, but I had a nerdgasm just now on screen. I'm a little uncomfortable about it, but oh my god, the Batmobile looks so good. It's somewhere between the thing that I disliked in the Nolan Batmobile, the tank, I can't remember what the hell it was called. The Tumbler? Tumbler, didn't like the Tumbler. Somewhere between the Tumbler and a normal Batmobile, it's got a nice jet on it, you can see there. And it's got a damn cannon that pops out of the top, and it's got, 3 fins going, and it's fucking awesome looking, and I cannot wait to drive it. I want it in and around my face.
Yeah.
All the time. This may be the only game I pre-order this year. Unless there's a WoW game. Yeah.
I feel like they are in a unique position that they know it's going to make enough money that these delays are going to be worth it.
See, I feel like all delays are worth it. Even new property,
But I feel like, and this may be me, blowing smoke, but I feel like a smaller game, the budgetary costs of pushing it back.
The question is, when you say smaller, do you mean new IP or do you mean indie
smaller
game?
Company, indie game.
I mean, that's the thing, though. There's not as much anticipation for it, so I don't feel like the cost of pushing it back would be that great, right? So, like, with something like Arkham Knight, they started advertising sooner than they had to, and so they are, of course, going to incur extra cost, right? Because they have more time that they need to cover in advertising, plain and simple, on top of extra development time. But you know what? Like,
it's Arkham Knight, and it's going to make so much money.
It's not even a matter of money. Like, I don't care about the money. I really don't care how much money. They can care all they want. It's not my problem. I'm a gamer, not a game developer. All I want is a good game. I don't care how long it takes to make it. I don't care how much it costs for them to make it. I just want a good damn game. I want a game that I can start up and not have to worry about getting like 80 damn downloads before I can play it. I want a game that, the faces don't disappear when, and only the eyeballs and teeth, thank you, Ubisoft, are fucking visible, Like, I just want it to be at least graphically stable. And, mechanically where it should be. Even if they add, and my one pet peeve, I will say, is when like major developers come out and like, there's going to be first day DLC, but damn it, don't make it story DLC, right? Like, we just know, where that came from. It came from the shit that you had in the damn game already. Of course, the Arkham series has never been known for that. They basically like add characters and that kind of stuff. Damn it, I can't help watching the damn footage. Like, it's so good. I just want the Batmobile so much. I don't know. I always and he just launches out. Oh my god, I want it. I want it so bad. I want it so bad, baby. Okay, that's all.
Speaking of updates, PS4 got
a huge update this week.
And I'll be honest,
we haven't played with our PS4 a whole lot. One of the best things though is that there's actually a suspend/resume. So now you can actually put your PS4 in rest mode even in the middle of a game without you just pause it, turn your damn PS4 off or rest mode like every one of us does. As opposed to turning it all the way completely power off, and it saves your game at that spot, so you don't have to worry about losing where you're at. You don't have to get to that next save point. You really can just stop and go, and save points are quite far apart. Like that song that nobody else knows but Jessica and I, that's in my head.
Other people. I do have to say. The resume also works with Netflix,
which is awesome. I really like it. Of course, there is the whole aspect of I was watching Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and our daughter's like, "What's that?"
Yeah, if you're watching something inappropriate and a child comes in, or if you've told the child no more episodes, and then it just picks up when it turns back on, that
lets them know you're a liar.
Yeah.
But frankly, all good parents lie to their 3-year-olds.
Yeah. But so there, but that just means I need to learn to exit out of Netflix.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. But yeah, if you're watching a movie and you have to, go do something or
go to the bathroom, do the dishes, whatever.
Yeah, it's really
easy to stop and start.
Feature.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, that is the only feature I even knew they added because
she doesn't care.
I could care less about trophies. I could care less about finding my Facebook friends on there.
I'm super happy that there's a backup and restore from hard drives to USB.
I mean, that's nice. That is nice.
I think some of the friend connectivity will be nice for other people. I'm not super into it. I feel like it's going to add a lot of spam to Facebook for me, and I am not okay with that. I don't know how they streamlined the party process because it was pretty easy to begin with. So I don't really know. I actually like that you can maintain your trophies. If you're an achievement hunter, then that stuff gets really cluttered. You rent a game and you have like 50 trophies in there that are that 0%. Yeah. You don't care, right? Like you just want to get them out of there. They also added some accessibility options so that you can actually let's see. There's text-to-speech for all graphical user interfaces, which is nice. Including message and party, which is awesome. So you can, actually do voice to text or text to speech, so you can actually hear some messages while you're playing without having to switch up stuff. You can enlarge the text, you can bold the fonts and that kind of stuff with the UI, and of course there's button customizations, which is actually really cool. I've been playing with the PlayStation for long enough that I think that that's not going to be a thing I use. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a late thing that is not super necessary. I don't know. I've never really encountered a game where I'm like, I feel like this button should be here instead of here. Because tutorials are pretty prevalent in all games. So
I could see, as a woman with smallish hands, there have been times that I'm like, that button's too far away.
I guess the PS4 controller is a fair bit chunkier than the old PS3 controller is. So, they've also added 60 FPS for remote play and share play, which is pretty amazing for the 2 games that actually do run at 60 FPS. And if you have a crazy ass like a crazy ass internet connection, which we do not, which is why this is, this is why we're not streaming and this and recording this only. They've also added upload functionality to Daily Motion, which I've never used in my life, nor do I know what the hell it is. And they've added verified accounts, kind of like when you have game developers, producers, designers, stuff like that want to be,
hey,
like have like a fan pagey kind of feel where it's, they verified that X developer is actually this person. Yeah. So when you're playing with the developer and when you're not, right? That's pretty cool. They also did some PlayStation app update, which is not, I don't know, it's just like different accessibility options that are not particularly useful because, I mean, it connects just fine and works exactly as it did before, basically. I don't know. I mean, I'm blind, but I'm not like, accessibility use blind, so. And I believe, my dear, that those damn Nazis, this is the end. Isn't that what we said we were gonna? Yeah. Well, that was our last topic. That's it.
Well, we have the parenting advice.
Parenting advice. I forgot. This week, the best parenting advice ever. This week.
Just
don't let your kids watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's what.
Well, that goes without saying.
Does it?
It should. Just I hate to break it to you, internet out there.
All 15 people that have made it this far.
You will never get over the awkwardness of first dates with your children.
Wait. You're just saying that as though... Let me... It's so awkward when you go on that first date with your daughter. It's so like,
once
she was weird and I was weird and we were weird. It was weird.
Yeah. Once your children get to a certain age, you will get to relive the awkwardness of first dates because you will enter in the world of play dates. So just get used to that. It's awkward. There's awkward getting to know you, chit chat. Where are you from? What you do? Da, da, da. It's awkward, but to get your kids out of the house and
so really it's like it's not even a date for your kids because your kids are gonna like whoever the hell. You could take your kid to like Chucky's house and they'd be pretty much happy for like the first hour at least. And you meeting,
2-hour time limit. That's
father of Chucky.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, for you young kids, Chucky is a homicidal doll that is possessed by a serial killer.
Yes.
Like, it was a series of movies. Go learn you something. I'm sure there's something on Netflix.
I'm sure.
I would only recommend watching up to like the third one. Once you get to like Bride of Chucky, shit starts getting a little, terrible.
But yeah. So
awkward dates are not over once you get married.
So even if you're in a committed relationship, you're done. You have kids. You're pretty sure you're set. You're always gonna have the awkwardness of first dates. So a bit of a bummer advice this week.
Yeah, it's a downer.
It's kind of a downer.
Oh, that's not even it's not even advice. It's just fucking.
Just prepare yourself.
This is a public service announcement.
Public service announcement.
Also, it's inappropriate to bring a Nintendo DS to a play date so that you can play something while your children play with other children.
Yeah,
you really should talk to that other parent. It's not okay to ignore them. There you go. That's advice. That's advice. I was just there. Don't ignore the other parent. You have to communicate with them even during a play date. Especially if your kids don't like each other.
Especially if your kids don't like each other. Okay.
All right, folks. Well, that's us for this week.
Those damn Nazis.
Those damn Nazis. Hopefully those damn Nazis post, comment, make a post, comment, subscribe, do all the likey things. And, I hope we do this again next week. I don't know.
We'll see.
It all depends on whether or not Jessica kills me before then.
Yeah.
Which is always a real possibility.
In his sleep.
In my sleep. It was only that one time I almost accidentally killed you, just that one time in my sleep. All right. Well, that's it, folks. We'll talk to you next week. We hope you had as much fun as we do. Bye.
Bye.
Be happy.